right, man. Well, welcome to the TD Show, Episode 8. We're going to get right into it. We got a special guest with us tonight, Will Williams, a longtime Redskin fan. As you can see in the backdrop there, good friend of ours.
To the show.
Yeah, welcome, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Basically,
glad to be on the show.
What's that?
I said glad to be on the show. Appreciate it. Hail to the Redskins.
You're our second guest of this show, and actually I was looking forward to this because I know you definitely can add some value with sports across the board. But tonight we'll get into like Redskins talk, and I think the first thing I want to do is obviously I saw today the passing of Joe Bugel. That's a great offensive line coach. Guy was in shape. He developed your all's. Pretty much structure, the running game, just blocking and schemes and things of that nature. And
he was the one that created the Hogs. He named them the Hogs, and they built their lineup the way he liked it. Rest in peace to Joe Bugel.
Well, Todd was saying, he was telling me today, like when and I'm sure you knew this, I didn't know it, but I guess Joe Gibbs had a different.
Yeah, Joe Gibbs was Eric Coryell, and they started 0-5. And then Bugel was like, we gotta run the ball. We gotta match our personnel.
Right.
And,
he brought his offensive style from the Chargers when he was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. And then when he got hired as the head coach of the Redskins, he brought on Joe Bugel and Richie Pettibone to run the defense. And not Joe Bugel, but he was the architect of the Hogs and everything, the offensive line.
And I didn't know, that. I thought Joe Gibbs and Buggs and a couple other people actually were all developing that system, because it was. That was the 80s for the Redskins.
Right.
You guys are great.
Counter Trey.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was pretty much the system that he ran, and then the West Coast offense that Bill Walsh ran. Bill Walsh ran in San Francisco, the West Coast offense. So it was pretty much those two offenses that was tearing up the NFL.
See, that's, for me, seeing when there's, it's funny, but it got me thinking, you see these coaches, you see Gibbs, you see coaches like Belichick, but then you see all the guys under these guys. Joe Gibbs is a legendary coach, great coach.
Right.
I'm a big fan of his, actually. And I look at guys that developed under my coaches in Pittsburgh, Bill Cowher had some good offensive, defensive coordinators, but none of these coaches under these great coaches, usually, most of them, don't end up being good head coaches. It just doesn't seem to, weighing it out. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, Bill Belichick's coaches, for whatever reason, they can't succeed.
Yeah.
On other stops, but it's a few coaches right now that's under the Andy Reid tree, and they winning championships and stuff.
He's the Andy Reid's tree. I think is the best one. You look at John Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Right.
Well, who's from? He's coached a while, but Rivera's was under Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Sure was.
Yeah, he was I don't know if he was his defensive coordinator, but he was on that defensive staff when he got hired for Carolina.
Right.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And Doug Peterson for the Eagles, who just recently won the Super Bowl, he was under Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Andy Reid, I was kind of happy when he won that Super Bowl last year. He's a pretty good guy. He lost his son, went through troubles.
Right.
As for him, I was happy about that. But, you're right. That's the only one, really, you look at that tree, that those guys actually, it seems like obviously he knew what he was doing. And he developed those guys to branch out. So, but wanted to start off with that about Joe Bugel. I know you guys definitely. I remember him. He was there, great guy, great coach. Defensive guy. I know he went to Phoenix back then. It was in Arizona.
He was their head coach for a couple years out there.
It was Raiders. The Raiders,
was he the
Chargers. It was the Raiders coach.
Okay.
He was a Raiders coach for 1 year, but I think he went out O-line coach, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And then he went to San Diego, I think, for 1 year too.
Okay. I think it was 1 or 2 years. I think it was about 1 year out there in San Diego. I think he spent a couple years out there in Arizona. And then after that, he pretty much just retired.
Yeah, then he came back. Gibbs tried to bring the band back, obviously, which I think worked.
Everyone looks at that it's not successful. I think
The playoff team.
In 4 years, we went to playoffs twice.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't Joe Gibbs tight, but it was like 2 winning seasons, 2 losing seasons, and
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
but when he came in, he took over a terrible team.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, that was, that gets me to one of the other things I wanted to talk about was Sean Taylor era was what with him as coach.
Yeah.
He was last year.
Yeah. So I mean,
Not last year, he was there all 4 years. Sean Taylor was his first draft pick.
well, his first I think he came in. Joe Gibbs came in, I think, 2004,
okay.
and yeah, we drafted Sean, I think, 2004. Yeah, because we drafted Jason Campbell in 2005.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
His first quarterback that he drafted was Jason Campbell in 2005.
Yeah.
So we drafted Sean Taylor 2004, and he passed in 2007.
Yeah.
And that gets me to I wanted to talk I know yesterday we were trying to talk about some things and with Sean Taylor, I know you definitely respected him, and I mean I did just watch his days in Miami.
He was my favorite player.
Yeah.
I mean, those Gibbs teams. I mean, we had a guy that was the best player on the field.
He was an athlete. That's the one thing. One thing that I remember watching. You watch those football life stories on NFL Network. I've watched a lot. I really enjoyed it. But the one thing that got me was you go. I guess they said you get the Tuesday off. If you win. Yeah. So he'd leave right away and go back home. To see his family. Which I can't blame him there.
Yep.
And then not sleep and come right to practice. I think jog to practice and then put in a day's work. It was. You don't see all those guys doing it.
Oh yeah. When Sean passed away, I made a vow to always rep for him, and to this day I still do. I got Sean Taylor jerseys. As a matter of fact, I got a couple that's already in delivery to me. Sean Taylor. I see that, throw that 2-1 sign up. When I go to the games and the stadiums, and I have my Sean Taylor gear on, and I've been repping him ever since, and I won't stop.
Yeah,
next to Daryl Green, Art Monk, Dexter Manley, Sean Taylor, right up there. He is my favorite player. He's my favorite player.
Of the modern era, he's my favorite player. There's a lot of 80s and early 90s players I love, but as far as 2000s, Sean Taylor's the top.
Right. Oh
yeah. Man, that's why I just the short time he played, watch it as a Steeler fan when we got Ryan Clark. When you guys had Ryan Clark and Sean Taylor, I don't know a receiver that would want to come across the middle with either one of them.
Right.
Ryan Clark, one of my biggest hits I see him do was in the AFC Championship game against the Ravens, and he just KO'd Willis McGahee. I mean,
I remember that.
Oh my God! I mean, McGahee was out, man. I was worried. I was like, wow, he got. I mean, both of them were hurt. I mean, that was just. But to see, I would have loved to see them two in the defensive backfield because I don't think nobody in the league had that kind of hard hitters on. I mean, they're coming both sides this year, and they're both good, really good.
What they had, they had Ryan Clark. He was perfect with Sean Taylor. They were starting to blend well with LaVon Landry.
Yeah.
But Sean Taylor passed away before they really had the chance because that connection also was starting to look real good. But he passed away. But yeah, his time with Ryan Clark was real good. It was special.
Yeah. Well, and I know you've gone down there and visited actually his grave and all that. I showed.
Yes. And
it's well decorated and
pretty cool.
Yeah. It's. I mean. That's the one thing. I never got a chance to follow him. None of us did. You never know what he'll turn out to be. But I mean, honestly, he was somebody I was like, he's a great football player. In Miami, he was all all world there in Miami. All the U football players. I mean, there's not many of them that were bad. I mean, I can't think of many.
Well, I actually became good friends with his father and his brother and his stepmother. So it's every time they're down this area, I see him. His father, Pedro, is a real good guy. His stepmom, Simone, and his brother, Gabriel, I've always told people, people always ask me, what are my thoughts of somebody wearing Sean Taylor's number? And I said, the only person that I would feel comfortable wearing this number is his brother Gabriel. And his brother is a football player. If you ever seen him, might want to check his highlights out because he's going to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the NFL, and I hope that he could eventually end up on the Redskins. He's going to be in the NFL, and if you haven't seen him play,
what's he playing position?
He plays on defense. I think right now, when he was in high school, he was safety or linebacker.
Okay.
Or you know, in high school they play different positions.
Right.
They play on offense and defense.
Yep.
But he's an All-Pro in high school, and I think he's about to enter his first year in college. So you might want to check him out. His name is Gabriel Taylor. And
I remember, like, did they referenced him in the that Football Life?
That was his brother?
Yeah.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
His name is Gabriel Taylor. You could Google him. You could search him on Facebook and all that stuff. And trust me, he plays and hits like Sean Taylor. So.
Nice.
Yeah, I want to look at that because I remember, like, just I think what they referenced in that Football Life that I keep saying, he was in it, and like they were saying how he basically, you could see Sean Taylor in him. You know, like,
oh man, as he's starting to get older, his face looks like Sean. His body frame is starting to look like Sean. We could possibly be seeing Sean 2.0 in the NFL real soon.
I'd like
to stay healthy. If he stay healthy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, don't get in trouble. Like, well, it was unfortunate. Sean was protecting his family. Yeah. So, say stay out of trouble because he was protecting them. And it's like just those guys.
He turned his life around.
It's like you could have robbed him and left. Man, you didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? But well, how did you like? Question said I didn't know that. How did you become friends with his dad and like his family? That's actually interesting. I didn't know that. I mean,
because they are part of the Redskins family, and they see, I'm guessing from word of mouth that I always wear their jerseys, and they came to many Redskin events that I was at. They had private events or draft parties, and they was there, and I eventually met them, and they see that I rep for Sean Taylor always, so that's how I started pretty much, going to Redskins private events and stuff. When you go to private events, you see people that you don't normally see every day, and he was one of them. His family was one of them. So I met Gabriel when Gabriel was probably like 8 years old.
Oh wow!
Pedro and his wife Simone. Yeah. Like I never met Sean, but I met them. After he passed away, and it's just like ever since then, like they just been. I've seen them a lot. Over the years since then.
That's really cool.
That's something I didn't know. That's really that's kind of cool that that connection like that, and able to go to those events and see. It's great the family still tries to keep his legacy alive and amongst the fans. I mean they don't have to do that, so I think that's really commendable that they're keeping it going for him. The best way they can. Hopefully his brother, like you said, could be Sean 2.0, which I'd like to see that because honestly, I think Sean Taylor, easily by this time in his career, he'd probably be done just about or close to it.
Yeah, he'd be at the tail end of his career and probably been a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next thing I was trying to talk about yesterday, and like what you just said about different, different events you go to. So we were talking a little bit. We had some technical difficulties, so that's why we're kind of doing this again today.
Okay.
But with the dream seats that you have, you're in row one.
Yes.
And you definitely invested a lot into that, and you're a true fan. And then you see what's going on with the NFL. We were talking about cutting those 6 rows, and you have to you're just waiting to see what they're going to say. Which like I thought about that a little bit. I'm like, I just don't understand how the NFL. We all know Roger Goodell. You never know what he's going to do. So, but the fact is, I think for fans like yourself, you should not, honestly, you invested that money. It's not like this year you bought the tickets. You've had them. I'm a fan that's done that. You should have first, dibs on any kind of ticket or any opportunity since they're doing this, because let's face it, you're there. It's not. I mean, you're loyal, and like any fan that's in that section, you see them all the time. And it's like, I'm just curious your thought. Like, do you think it should be like that, or do you think, okay, like you were saying, like let's look at the suites and go that direction, or do you really feel that I think the NFL's kind of dropped the ball with how they're doing, with this advertising?
Well, first with the as far as the seats go, the NFL made it for all the stadiums, the first 6 to 8 rows. So it ain't just FedEx Field; it's all the stadiums.
Yeah.
Redskins, when I talked to the reps, what they told me was they got to wait for the state and the county to figure out the capacity. Once they decide that, then the Redskins will go from there and start informing fans, season ticket holders through emails. I'm on a priority list because of where I sit. I'm in a premium section, and like you said, it's row 1. So I'm definitely on the priority list to get informed first. I'm gonna be one of the ones, and then they're going to let me know what my options are, which will be move to another location with reduced price or credit, or just take a refund for the whole season, and then just go from there. So I'm just waiting. It's just a pretty much wait and see right now what the state and county going to do as far as stadium capacity, if fans are allowed. If no fans are allowed, then then that's a whole other subject. But if fans are allowed, then they got to decide how many fans are allowed to be in the stadium, and it's going to go from pretty much the highest to the lowest. But I'm up in the highest range, so I won't be like left out in the dark.
Okay.
I won't be like, I will be one of the ones because I'm in the higher range. So,
okay.
So wait and see.
Yeah, no, that's how I was trying to get educated a little bit, because I didn't understand how that worked, and I knew it was stadium, but I didn't know. Like, I figured, I was like, you've got to have first priority. Paying that kind of money. It's like, if they're not giving you first priority, I'm like, all right,
Well, the people who I think going to suffer the most are probably much the 400 section, people maybe in the 200 section. They're going to make the premium club owners a priority, and the premium club owners are suites, the dream seats in the club level, because they are the most expensive in the stadium. It's the 200 section and the 400 section that probably going to get the short end of the stick. But it's gonna go with the highest priority first, and then work their way down. And I'm in the highest priority, so.
Well, let's face it. Like, when you watch TV, that club section, like even I watch them. Like, where are these people? Like, halftime comes, and it's like they forget to come back out, man.
Right. Because they be because they got the inside part, and then they got the outside part, and a lot of people just stay in the inside instead of being actually in their seats. Exactly. Some people don't have seats. Some actually have their spot inside. But that's how it goes. I think that's how it is at all the stadiums. So.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. After halftime, you see like the stands just like half filled. And me,
I'm in my seat. I'm in my seat all day long until the game is over.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's how
That's how fans should be.
Yeah, that's how. Like my 16-year-old son, and I never had a problem. I'd go to games, and we never had to get up. I wouldn't even have to spend money on like food or anything because he wanted to watch the game. He's still he's like that. Like you two are, like myself. It's like I'm paying the money. I don't care about everything else in the
right.
So
I'm in my seat. Like a lot of people be out tailgating all day. I'm in the stadium early, and I'm in my seat standing. When the players come out till the final kneel down, and then they shake each other's hands, and they start walking back to the tunnel. I'm in my seat standing right there.
Well, that's where some of the funniest videos are, man. Like you posted on Facebook about if it was win, lose, or whatever, you at least band up and post it. But the funny ones are when you guys win. And fans in the background.
Oh yeah, fans. It's a lot different when you win it than when you're losing. When you're losing, you got to deal with the trash talk and all that other stuff. But.
Well, don't worry. Come this year, man. If you're up in Pittsburgh, we'll be there. So
I'll be there.
The new Ho Chi
I'm not gonna be in my seat, unfortunately, because I got a row one seat there. But I'm gonna be there.
I'll find you. Don't worry.
You'll find me. You'll know where I'm at. I let it be known. I'm gonna be there. I don't know where yet. I gotta wait for because where I got my ticket from. I think I got it off of StubHub. I gotta wait till it registers in their system that the first 6 rows gonna be blocked off because I got a row one ticket. So it's like,
well, we'll definitely talk before then. Obviously, like get some.
right.
But I know Todd, you were getting ready to ask him something before I was going on. But go ahead.
It's all good. Just want to ask you about the new coaching staff and what you think, what your opinion is.
Well, let me tell you, before the last coaching staff, I had no faith in. I wasn't a Jay Gruden fan, and I let it be known.
Yeah.
This coaching staff, I love this coaching staff. We got teachers. If you've seen Ron Rivera's press conference, he said he wanted teachers. Yeah. Teachers are men on and off the field. We have teachers on the team now. Yeah. Jack Del Rio, proven. Even Scott Allen, he's proven to some degree. He showed some good flashes last year as Carolina's head coach. And, Ron Rivera, his record speaks for himself. He's a winner. He won with the Bears. He won under Andy Reid. He won in Carolina, and he's going to win in Washington. He got a winning history. Yeah. And he's going to demand excellence from these players. If they don't bring it, they won't be on the team. Yeah. And I'm all in for the coach. So whoever is not on board, fan favorite or not, they got to go.
Yep. I agree.
If you don't have a system, it's not gonna, it's never gonna work well. I can say that, me being a Steeler fan my whole life, the coach, Mike Tomlin, what he did last year, like for a while, I was like, man, he's losing his team. You got AB's AB. Obviously money and I don't know what else got to him, which is a shame because he's a phenomenal talent. Yeah, right. Bell leaving, but then I was like, watch what Tomlin did when they, basically took that team and still went to 8-8 last year without a quarterback pretty much. It was impressive. Mike Tomlin's well respected in this league, under Bill Belichick. Right. He's not above him because all the times we've had to play him and lose it. But the fact is, Mike Tomlin, if Ron Rivera has that system going anywhere close to what he's doing, you guys are going to definitely go in the right direction, which I would like to see locally because I'll say this right here. I'm not a Raven fan. I would like you guys to just step right over the basement and we can laugh all the way on that one because the way their fans are, it's just like, come on, really? You guys, your purple camo and whatever else you're going to do. And, you got Lamar Jackson. We were just talking about that. They figured him out in the Tennessee game. So if he doesn't bring it, let's face it, he had one 300-yard passing game last year. First game of the year against Miami. It was all running the ball. And we all know what happens there. Patrick Mahomes has got a gun. He can throw that ball. And he's good. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, I don't know. It remains to be seen. If he can figure out to throw the ball, we'll see. I like Lamar's composure.
He's still young.
Yeah. Lamar's.
Well, I want us to beat the Ravens for a few reasons because we had a lot of Redskins fans that jumped ship to the Ravens last year that I really didn't like. So I want us to beat them. But over the years, I've learned that their fans don't like us that much. They treat us as if we are a AFC North team. Like the hate that they have grown over the years for us is unbelievable. And I know the reasons. I know the reasons why. It's because no matter how much they win, how much we lose, they will never overshadow the Redskins as far as the DMV teams.
No.
If you go back, if I could say this right quick, if you go back to the time when they won the Super Bowl in 2012, they won the Super Bowl in 2012, but nobody focused on that. The focus was on RG3's knee injury. A knee injury for a rookie overshadowed a team Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
And, it's like stuff like that has gotten their fan base to hate us because I work in the Baltimore market and on their radio stations, they badmouth us. They talk about us in the street. It's like they have a serious hate for us that is unheard of. And we're not even in that divisional conference.
No. Nope. And well, when you look at it, if you go to other cities, you've been to many. We've all gone outside of it. Raven fans, they're in Baltimore. They travel a little bit, but there's no Redskin fans travel. You will see Redskin fans all across wherever. You know, Steeler fans, we know that. Raven fans, they got little packs. They act like they're this big, like nobody knows, cares about it.
But they not nationwide. Like you said, Steelers, Redskins, Cowboys, Packers, Raiders, they could go to Arizona and have a big fan base. You could go to Carolina, have a big fan base. You could go to different states in the United States and have a big following, a fan base. There's no big fan base for the Ravens outside of Baltimore. You know?
And they're jealous of it. They're jealous the Redskins continue to keep that fan base. Because they've had tough years, you know, but it's like they still can't take it. And I don't think they ever will, like you said, because once the Redskins, which I think they are already started to turn it. Last year even, there are just different glimpses there. I mean, it was a tough year, but you saw different things. It was like, it hasn't been this, like Dan Snyder hasn't like put his hands into the cookie jar and mess with it. It's like he's allowing, you got rid of the problems. Like, what's his name? Bruce Allen, who I think was the biggest thorn in everybody's side of the skin. So
it's three teams that would never overshadow the other team in their state. Eagles would never overshadow the Steelers. Ravens would never overshadow the Redskins. And the Texans would never overshadow the Cowboys. It just ain't gonna happen. No matter how bad those favorite teams are and those other teams are good, those three would never outshine those three in those states. It just ain't gonna happen.
I agree. Well, it also, I think you posted this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you did because I saved it. It was a revamped NFL by division.
I posted it, yeah.
I loved it. Like, what was it? So, Will had this, like, it was a chick. It was funny because he was messing with the Cowboys. Right. He's like, they finally moved west. Jerry and his California stuff, he's out west. Right. But it put the Redskins, Eagles, Steelers, and Ravens.
Oh, wow.
In the same division.
I was like, oh, I would love that because it makes sense.
That would be cool.
It makes sense. I mean, because
it do.
It does make sense. We're real close.
It's like, why don't they do like? If I don't know if you agreed with that, but
I do.
Yeah, I'm like,
it'd be hard though because I enjoy the Cowboys Redskins matchup. Man.
Right.
I want to see.
But see with the because they start the 17-game season next year in 2021, and they start the 18-game season in 2022. So to keep that Redskins Cowboys rivalry, they could do the realignment in 2018 or 22, where we will still play the Cowboys every year.
Okay.
Because those games will be decided, if they did the realignment like I posted, we could still have that rivalry with Dallas in 20. They could either have it in 2021 or 2022. But we'll see. I don't think they're going to realign, but it would be nice to see it, but we'll see.
I mean, because you look the way that was, I'll show Todd. Because I saved it because I was like, you look at each area, like it's geographically stretched out the right way. The Cowboys where it is, but I feel the Redskins and Cowboys should be Thanksgiving, every year because that's tradition. Like, I mean, those two teams, I mean, they shouldn't stop playing, just like the Ravens and Steelers.
Right, exactly.
But it's like, I don't understand why the NFL doesn't look at certain things like this. It's like, man, you would market things so much better if you start looking at how these fan bases are.
Regional?
Yeah.
Well, regional.
Because, it's great. National. Dallas gets that. Dallas is not America's team. I'm sorry.
They're
third. Third because there's one at a time. We certainly are over the Cowboys because we've come into Texas Stadium a couple times, and there was a good amount of Steeler fans in there. But it's like they always have that. You know it. You guys both know it, being Redskins fans, can't stand the Cowboys. I can't. Like, I've shut down Cowboy fans and trash talking because it's like
the local Cowboy fans here are like rough to take.
They make fun of the Redskins. It's like somebody was doing it for me one time. You'll like this. They were doing it for me one time, and I'm like, when have you been relevant? You're picking on the Redskins. You're only a couple years ahead of them. I was like, you guys haven't won a Super Bowl since we were getting out of high school.
Since the 90s.
won
I think their last Super Bowl was 1996.
They beat us.
Yeah.
They beat us.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Neil O'Donnell threw Larry Brown 2 picks and got Larry Brown paid. Larry Brown was the same after that. So
right.
Yeah. So I like that. Posted that. That's why I wanted you as a guest, by the way. I'm definitely
I appreciate it.
And I hope that the people that, your friends and family see it, because I'm definitely going to call you out and say, you're somebody I wanted because you know sports. You tell it how it is. You show up. Yeah, you show up with some of the funniest things, by the way. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got – I don't know anything Will doesn't have. It's not Redskin or anything sports related because he cares. There it is. I knew that was coming.
There it is.
He's even got pro wrestling.
Is awesome.
He's got pro wrestling thrown into
the
Redskins.
best. Like it.
The mask, baby.
Ready to enter the and I'm good with that because honestly that's the last thing I have to ask you since you got the mask on.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what's your, as you hold all that up. What you don't like to predict this, so you can give a preliminary and come back at it. We can come back to you. What do you think, honestly, right now, without knowing anything, what the Redskins will do this year record-wise?
Yeah, what do you think the record's going to be?
I'll tell you.
Oh, wow. I don't usually do preseason. Records this early. Right now, I'm gonna have to say 8-8 because it's too much unknown.
Yeah,
it's too much unknown. We have a new coaching staff that they got to still work together, and because of this pandemic, they can't be on the field. They can't be on the field like a normal team would be. Injuries has always been our issue. Right now I can't go no higher than 8-8.
Okay.
That's what I had.
I usually wait till after the preseason to give a prediction because I want to see how injuries are, how we do in training camp, and by having a new coach, we have a new coach, new front office, new medical staff. It's like everything is new, and it's like I'm hoping for 8-8. So I'm gonna just say 8-8. Can't be no worse than 3-13. I don't think we're gonna be that bad. But,
right.
I see at least 8-8. I see at least 8.
That's exactly what I have. 8-8. I'm optimistic about the potential to be better, but all I really care about is our players getting better week in and week out, win or lose. That we look like we have a game plan and getting better and better.
And I think originally though, by the way, Will, I'll say originally had him at 9-7, so he came down in a win or loss. But I will say,
Eagles have a hard schedule. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, they do. And I think 8-8. Honestly, from where you guys were, if you got to 7-9 or 8-8, whatever, that's a massive improvement.
Yeah, first year.
Yes.
They had the extra playoff team this year, right?
Yeah. Yes. 7 playoff teams.
Yeah.
The team with the overall record have a bye. The 3 division winners, the extra 3 division winners, will get the home game, and then it's 3 wild cards this time instead of 2 division. Instead of wait a minute, what is it? Yeah, instead of 2 division winners and 2 bye teams, it's 1 bye team.
Yeah.
3 division winners with home games and 3 wild cards.
Yeah, man.
So it could be, so you could easily be 8-8.
8-8 might sneak in the playoffs.
Yeah. What should be in? Yeah, look at that. He's got. I like the gloves. Those are. Yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
When we go the Steeler, I'm hoping it goes through. Everybody can go to this game. We won't have to text Will. We won't call him to find him. You'll just look down in the stands. He'll be the guy decked out.
I'm gonna be decked out, baby.
Green Bay. When you were in Green Bay, that was one of my favorite pictures. He's standing up. I think he's got like a blanket on or something, and he's in the Green Bay crowd, sitting out. So. Oh no, it's not a blanket. It was a Mexican throw that I got from Mexico. That's what. Yeah, I got it from Mexico. Yeah, the fact. Oh, right quick. Let me just say, if there's 7 teams was last year, the Steelers and the Rams would have made it. Yeah.
The Steelers would have been the 7th, and the Rams would have been the 7th.
Yep.
But hold up, I could go get it. Let me show you right quick. You want me to show you what I had on? I can show you. Hold on right quick. Hold up.
He just ride like one of those little donkeys, and he can throw on his little. Yeah, it's hilarious what he had. You should see, like, you gotta, like, when he gets his back here, everybody. Will's gonna show us something that actually he was at a game in Green Bay last year, so he is I will say this as he's getting ready. He has represented the Redskins, I think, everywhere he's gone, and here he is now. Bringing that, I mean, I don't even know how you find that when you go on your vacations, and it's certainly, though, he has found some things that are pretty cool, like from the Mexican wrestler, the luchador.
That's bad.
This is
That is
this is what I had on.
That is
look
cool.
at that.
I like that.
This is
You need that ingredient, man. You needed that in the frozen tundra.
Oh yeah, this thing came in real handy.
Is it really?
Came in.
Is it really thick?
No, it's like it's not real thick. It's it's thin, but it helps. It helps when it's cold. It's not thick.
Oh.
It'll definitely help you if you just have a jersey on. It definitely helps.
Oh God, yeah, you're being in Green Bay. I mean, I think it was a December game, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the second week in December.
Woo.
And what's amazing is I was hoping for snow. I wanted to be in that stadium for snow.
Oh yeah.
It snowed the next day going home. It snowed real hard. When we was on a plane, it just started coming down so hard that they had to de-ice the plane.
Wow.
Before they take off and de-ice the road because the plane got smothered in snow and ice. So they had to clean it off with the icer.
Yeah.
And then get the runway clear enough. And it just came down like unbelievable, just out of nowhere. It just, woof. I'm like, wow.
I've flown out of that airport many times with an old job I had. It's so cold up there where I was up there one time in the winter, crossing my hotel, just cross the street to the other place. It was like I was getting stabbed with the cold. And I get in this cab back then, this was like years ago, get in a cab, and the guy's like, I'm like, does it get this cold also? He's like, oh, yeah, man, people got to plug their cars in. I was like, plug it in? He's like, yeah, so the oil doesn't freeze. I'm like, oil doesn't freeze. So your oil doesn't freeze. They got to plug their car. They got some. I mean, I'm like, wow, I'm good. I don't think I could live up there waking up in the morning like that. I wouldn't need coffee. That's for sure.
Way too cold.
Yeah. Well, Will, I was going to say, I appreciate you joining us for this.
For joining us, man.
Definitely it was good, and I'm glad you were able to join us. We didn't have any technical difficulties.
Right.
Definitely looking to have you on again because I think we can talk all kinds of sports. I know you can. So
I can talk it all.
Yeah, I look forward to you joining this. Hopefully, as many times as we can. And certainly we'll definitely have you on.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, fellas.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining the show. Have a good night.
Hail to the Redskins.
Yeah, man.
Hail to the Redskins, baby. Hail to the Redskins.
There you go, man.
Hail to the Redskins, baby. Down with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Down with the Cowboys, the Eagles, Giants, all of them. Hail to the Redskins. Go Steelers.